Hello, welcome to the Katie Sassine Show. I'm your host, Katie Sassine, addressing the indoctrination of the American nation. So we've covered quite a lot in these last few days. Happy Thursday to you all. One more day closer to the weekend. I know we can't complain about that. I'd like to give a happy birthday shout out today. It's someone's birthday today on this lovely March 23rd, Thursday. And guess whose birthday it is? Mr. Rex Tillerson, Secretary of State. So happy birthday to Rex Tillerson. I may have to try to do some happy birthdays more often here. So happy birthday to Rex Tillerson, CEO of ExxonMobil and chairman. He became the CEO and chairman in 2006. And just recently, in 2017, he was confirmed as the 69th U.S. Secretary of State. So let's just take a moment to celebrate Rex Tillerson. Thank you, Rex. Now, moving on to today's topic, we are continuing the death of Alex Okrent. Now, we checked out a video and it showed Lynn Polak, his mother and father, talking about the death of their son immediately after it happened, and they claimed that it was after he had had a heart attack after working out, and that was the cause of his death. Now, there has been much speculation because we all know that Andrew Breitbart collapsed and reportedly died of a heart attack. But Andrew Breitbart was a little bit older and also less healthy looking than Okrent. So, of course, maybe I'm just assuming that Okrent was healthier than Breitbart because of his appearance, but, you know, he looks younger, leaner. He doesn't look like he's in the kind of shape to where he would have a heart attack. I'm no doctor, but it doesn't seem likely. Now, Alex Okrent collapsed, and this is according to the Chicago Tribune. He collapsed July 2012 at Obama's Chicago campaign headquarters in the Prudential Building at 130 East Randolph Street. He was then taken to nearby Northwestern Memorial Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police were not called because the incident did not appear to be suspicious, the Chicago police said. An autopsy was then ruled to be inconclusive, pending further test. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office said right after the incident occurred, on a Saturday after the incident occurred. And this was all reported by the Chicago Tribune. So now I want to go into another idea. And if you weren't with us the last segment, this right here is Alex Okrent working on an Obama campaign here as he used to so diligently. Now, as I just stated from the Chicago Tribune and from various other sources, it's reported that his autopsy is inconclusive. Now, it sparked my interest to know what makes an autopsy inconclusive. Well, so I went to forensicmag.com, and this is what writer Judy Melinek says. Judy, if you want to check her out, Judymelinek. I just learned how to spell last week, have a heart. So she says from forensicmag.com, something is inconclusive, the autopsy is inconclusive when you cannot draw conclusions about it after all the information is available. The autopsy itself may be conclusive, but the medical examiner is not going to tell you that because they are still working to complete the death investigation. That's the key sentence. They are still working to complete the death investigation of Alex Okrent. It's been 4 or 5 years. Is this not enough time to complete it? As far as I've seen on the internet, I haven't found an updated result of this inconclusive autopsy. If you have information on that, please message me at Twitter at Katie FYNTV, and of course at my email, more privately at katie@fetchyournews.com, because from regular Google searches and what I have access to as a regular civilian internet user, that's all that I get on the internet. I'm sure I will delve into my YouTube videos and stuff like that, but I'm imagining it could take hours to get to the bottom of this one. If not days. So this lack of info available about Alex Okrent is a huge red flag. It's a huge cause for suspicion. It's reported that his former Facebook was deleted. There's an inconclusive autopsy. There's no other reports that are surfacing. And there was a failure of him to acknowledge his job on social media. If you had not heard earlier, I acknowledged that Alex Okrent was reportedly not directly addressing his involvement with the Obama campaigns during his time as being a staffer for the presidential campaigns for Obama. And in addition, he has a Facebook memorial page, and his Facebook memorial page only has 300 members. This is a young male who was killed doing service for former President Barack Obama. The organization Organizing for Action is dedicated to Alex Okrent, but where is the information on Alex Okrent's death? If Obama wants to dedicate the OFA to Alex Okrent, then why doesn't Obama dedicate money and forces to investigating the inconclusive results of Alex Okrent's autopsy? I would like to ask former President Barack Obama why he is not putting money into that investigation, and why there are independent attorneys out there who are offering rewards, and why WikiLeaks is offering rewards for more information on these types of deaths. Now, where is Obama? He wants to dedicate his lovely site to Mr. Okrent, but I don't see him putting any money into investigating his death. That's still apparently inconclusive, because the death investigation is incomplete. Of course, we can't call it a murder because we don't know, but the death investigation is incomplete. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. Now, we have a video that addresses the lack of info about Okrent on the internet. It's titled, "Who is Dead Obama Staffer Alex Okrent, Part 1. This is another video by Chris Zane, Kriszane. I highly advise you to follow his YouTube page. He's got a lot of well-produced stuff on there. So who is dead Obama staffer Alex Okrent? Let's check it out. So again, that was a video produced by Chris Zane on YouTube. You can follow his page at Chris Zane, Kriszane. And as we could see from that video, The internet has been wiped clean about info of Okrent. That's very conspicuous, considering that he's been an Obama campaign staffer, or was, for 2 separate election cycles. And the internet has been wiped clean. It just doesn't make any sense. It's very inconsistent information. And to boot, the OFA is dedicated to Alex Okrent. So you would think, because the OFA is publicly dedicated to Alex Okrent, although few people would notice that, few people read the fine print, even when shopping for goods, people fail to read the fine print. And people shopping for organizations to be political activists surely haven't read the fine print, because they would wonder what happened to Alex Okrent. And that's what I'm wondering still. Now, the OFA is dedicated to Okrent, but there's nothing about him on the internet. This is highly suspect, and I'm not talking rock music. Now stay tuned in, because the Katie Sassine Show will be right back with you to continue another conspiracy of another murder. Thank you.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine.
El Rey.
El Rey and Ellijay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, welcome back to the Katie Sassine Show. If you haven't been tuned in with us, we just closed up talking about Alex Okrent and the ongoing investigation of his death due to the still present inconclusive autopsy that, for my knowledge, remains today. Now, when I was researching Okrent, I happened to stumble across a link And it really got me thinking about other investigations. So I'm going to pull that up for you right now. So as you can see, it says on this link on freerepublic.com, it says, do not forget the unexplained deaths. And guess who this is posted by? Mr. Chris Zane, the creator of the YouTube video we just watched about Alex Okrent. Kriszane. This has got to be the same Chris Zane, of course. He says, do not forget the unexplained deaths. Alex Okrent, which we just went over, Seth Rich, which we will go over, Andrew Breitbart, which we have discussed on the week of the whistleblowers. That was a couple of months ago. And also, he says in the first sentence, as there emerges news of another mysterious death, this one in Haiti, the death of Monica Peterson, who was investigating Clinton's questionable activities for Colorado's Human Trafficking Center, ... It goes on. Now, here's another murder conspiracy that we have. Not only Seth Rich, but also Monica Peterson. So first, I would like to start out with going over Seth Rich. So Seth Rich was a former employee of the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, and he was involved in aiding the process of the Democratic campaigns, of course, like Okrent with Obama, similarly, except on, I guess, a bigger scale here we're seeing. There he is for you right there, and this is courtesy of his LinkedIn profile. Now, he was shot in the back twice on a walk home. This is how Seth Rich died. Now, he just so happened to die being shot in the back twice on the way home while his girlfriend was out of town. That tells me it could have been an inside job because his girlfriend was out of town and there may have been someone who knew that, who knew there was not going to be any type of witness there to protect him. Now, that's just me speculating, of course, that's just me speculating conspiracy. But it's also said by the Washington Post, Seth was ordered killed by Hillary Clinton because he knew something about her email scandal. Seth was killed by Russians posing as FBI agents investigating the Clintons. Seth was killed because he slipped DNC emails to WikiLeaks. So as I talked about earlier, Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, he has mentioned that they're offering money for information on the investigation of the murder of Seth Rich because although we can't prove the murders of Monica Peterson, or we definitely can't prove the murder of Alex Okrent, we can certainly prove that Seth Rich was murdered. Now, was he arbitrarily murdered, or was he murdered on purpose because of his political beliefs and because of his political intel for what he apparently released to WikiLeaks later? Now, was he ordered to be killed by Hillary Clinton? And were Russians posing as FBI agents the ones that killed him? We don't know, but this is what is being said. Now, Assange was interviewed, Julian Assange, CEO of WikiLeaks, and he says that WikiLeaks never sits on material and whistleblowers go through significant risk to get this information to WikiLeaks, meaning that when a whistleblower gives their information to WikiLeaks, this is risky business. This is serious business and it's seriously dangerous. They put their lives on the line, and what more do you have than your life? Well, you have the lives of your family and friends. Now, God forbid something happens to the families of these people. Then it would be highly, highly suspect versus just highly suspect. God forbid anything were to happen to their families. Now, that would just be extremely conspicuous. Now, Assange states also in an interview that took place that the Young Turks posted on one of their episodes, Assange states that there was a 27-year-old murdered for no reason, and in this he is referring to Seth Rich. The reporter interviewing Assange wonders what Assange is insinuating with this 27-year-old reporter murdered for no reason. And he asked Assange, was he, as in Seth Rich, one of your sources? One of Assange's sources of WikiLeaks? And then Assange replies that we, WikiLeaks, are investigating to understand what happened to Seth Rich, ... to Seth Rich. And he says, we are concerned about it. So let's show a photo of a WikiLeaks tweet put out offering money for the search of Seth Rich and murder conclusions. So here it says on WikiLeaks, posted by WikiLeaks, August 9, 2016, WikiLeaks offers a $20,000 reward for information in the murder of DNC staffer Seth Rich, another DNC staffer murdered years after our first case that we just discussed, Alex Okrent. So it says below, at this time we don't have any information from NBCWashington.com. It says at this time we don't have any information to suggest that this case is in any way connected with his network at the DNC. But obviously, we don't know is the key word here. Now moving on to another post by a Twitter user. Barbara Ann on Twitter says, finally, Dem is speaking out about DNC, and at DWS tweets, collision against Sanders in the murder of Seth Rich, hashtag Snow Day. Tim So there we have it, publicly acknowledged that the murder of Seth Rich needs to be investigated. And there's also an attorney that's come out and expressed that he will donate money personally to anyone who has information on this investigation. It's a Republican lobbyist. And the article is from fox5dc.com. And the article says, Republican lobbyist says murder of DNC staffer Seth Rich linked to Russian operatives. Just as the article from the Washington Post had stated earlier in some sort of way. But the Washington Post stated it to a further extent, of course. Now, it goes on to say from foxdc.com, a Republican lobbyist says he has new evidence that links the murder of Democratic National Committee DNC staffer to Russian operatives. Jack Berkman is his name. He has put up a monetary reward in the case of murdered DNC staffer Seth Rich. Says a former U.S. intelligence officer came to him with a new lead. He said, I was approached by a guy who styles himself as a former U.S. intel officer, Berkman said. I quizzed him. I think he's credible. You never know the motive of people. But what he said is basically this, that Seth discovered that the Russians had been hacking, and therefore the Russian government did away with Seth. Berkman's commitment to help solve the murder case, he said, comes from his empathy for the family, especially Rich's mother. Berkman has asked Congress to investigate Russian ties to Rich's murder, but has not yet received a response. So, should we be connecting him more so to the Russians, or should we be connecting his death more so to the Clinton administration? Well, why would the Russian government come out and do the Clintons a favor by murdering someone that was to reveal information that would sabotage the Clintons? Because in this past election, it was said that the Russians hacked the election to prevent Hillary Clinton from winning, to prevent the Clintons from gaining more power, to having direct involvement with the Russians. It's clear, based off of the accusations of the past election, that the Russians aren't looking to help the Clintons. So for this attorney and everyone else to tie Seth Rich so decisively, the Washington Post, to being murdered by the Russians is a little bit presumptuous to me. Now, it says in the Washington Post that he was ordered killed by Hillary Clinton, and he was killed by Russians posing as FBI agents investigating the Clintons. So it's possible he was killed by these Russian agents investigating the Clintons because they didn't want Seth Rich to get the credit for the scoop. But it seems like they would have less of a motive to kill Seth Rich than the Clintons themselves. So I don't know, were they doing the Clintons a solid, or were they looking out for themselves? What was exactly the deal? Well, it all happened because apparently he leaked emails to WikiLeaks. And that was, of course, stated by Julian Assange. So Julian Assange obviously wants to do his own investigation. WikiLeaks does, in spite of this attorney's investigation, in spite of what the Washington Post says. So maybe there's more to the story that Julian Assange could reveal. Hopefully that will come in time. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the Katie Cecine Show. And we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. And please follow me at Katie FYNTV and email me at katie@fetchernews.com.